Dolores Huerta breaks silence, alleges César Chavez forced sexual encounters. More than 30 years after his death, new allegations of sexual abuse against labor leader César Chavez are triggering fallout across California, including the cancellation of planned celebrations in his honor. Chavez, who co-founded the United Farm Workers and led national boycotts and labor campaigns, remains a central figure in Latino civil rights history. He was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994, and his birthday was declared a U.S. federal commemorative holiday in 2014. Dolores Huerta, Chavez's longtime ally and a co-founder of the United Farm Workers, disclosed in a new report from the New York Times that Chavez sexually assaulted her in 1966, an allegation she said she had never previously disclosed publicly. Unfortunately, he used some of his great leadership to abuse women and children. It's really awful, Huerta told the outlet. Eric Olvera, a spokesperson for Dolores Huerta, confirmed the Times reporting about Huerta's story. "This is a very heavy day, and we are all shocked and all surprised," he told SF Gate. Dolores, she legitimately had no idea and thought she was the only one. In a separate statement to her blog, Huerta said she had kept her encounters with Chavez a secret for the past 60 years. "I believe that exposing the truth would hurt the farm worker movement I have spent my entire life fighting for," Huerta said. She detailed the first encounter with Chavez as being manipulated and pressured, while she noted that, in a later encounter with him, she'd been forced against her will and felt trapped. Huerta said both encounters led to pregnancies. "I chose to keep my pregnancies secret, and after the children were born, I arranged for them to be raised by other families that could give them stable lives," she said. "Over the years, I have been fortunate to develop a deep relationship with these children, who are now close to my other children, their siblings. But even then, no one knew the full truth about how they were conceived until just a few weeks ago." In addition to Huerta, two women, Ana Murguia and Deborah Rovis, told the New York Times that Chavez abused them repeatedly as minors in the 1970s. At the time, he was in his 40s and leading the farm workers movement. Murguia said she was 13 when Chavez first summoned her to his office, where he locked the door, assaulted her, and warned her not to tell anyone. She said the encounters continued for years. Rovis said in the report that Chavez first groped her when she was 12 and later had sexual intercourse with her when she was 15 in a motel during a union march. Under California law, the conduct would constitute rape due to her age. Both women said they had not previously shared their accounts publicly. The allegations were part of a broader investigation by the Times, which reported interviews with more than 60 people and a review of union records, emails, photographs, and audio recordings. The reporting found what it described as a pattern of misconduct, including claims that Chavez used women within the movement for his own sexual gratification. Governor Gavin Newsom said at a press conference that he was still absorbing the news, noting the allegations hit close to home, given his longtime friendship with Huerta. "We're just gonna have to reflect on a farm workers movement and a labor movement that was much bigger than one man and celebrate that. And that will be our focus as we process what the next steps are," he said. "We're for justice. We're for the truth. We're for transparency. We want to have the backs of our victims." San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie called the accounts deeply disturbing and unacceptable. "It takes immense bravery to come forward," Lurie said. "My heart goes out to all of the survivors." U.S. Senator Alex Padilla described the accounts as heartbreaking, horrific, adding, "There must be zero tolerance for abuse, exploitation, and the silencing of victims, no matter who is involved." Advocacy group Mi Familia Vota also expressed support for those coming forward, stating that it stands emphatically with the survivors and calling the allegations against everything we stand and fight for every day. In a statement on Tuesday before the New York Times report was released, the United Farm Workers said it would not participate in events marking Chavez's birthday on March 31st, citing deeply troubling allegations and reports that are incompatible with our organization's values. The union said it had not received any direct reports and had no first-hand knowledge of the claims, but called the allegations involving very young women or girls crushing. The organization said it plans to create an external, confidential, independent channel for people to share experiences and seek support, adding that the accusations were profoundly shocking. The César Chavez Foundation also released a statement on Tuesday saying it was shocked and saddened by the allegations. The foundation said it plans to support the people who may have been harmed by his actions and ensure we are united and guided by our commitment to justice and community empowerment. This story has been updated.
Today, civil rights leader Dolores Huerta issued the following statement. I am nearly 96 years old, and for the last 60 years have kept a secret because I believed that exposing the truth would hurt the farmworker movement I have spent my entire life fighting for. I have encouraged people to always use their voice. Following the New York Times multi-year investigation into sexual misconduct by César Chavez, I can no longer stay silent and must share my own experiences. As a young mother in the 1960s, I experienced 2 separate sexual encounters with César. The first time I was manipulated and pressured into having sex with him, and I didn't feel I could say no because he was someone that I admired. My boss and the leader of the movement I had already devoted years of my life to. The second time I was forced, against my will and in an environment where I felt trapped. I had experienced abuse and sexual violence before, and I convinced myself these were incidents that I had to endure alone and in secret. Both sexual encounters with César led to pregnancies. I chose to keep my pregnancies secret and, after the children were born, I arranged for them to be raised by other families that could give them stable
Support me.
lives.
Make sure you go ahead, Nene Marie 37 in her inbox if you want a signed copy of my book, man.